Good evening, good evening, good evening, Alternative Healthcare Career Group. This is Dr. Mike Chua, physical therapist, and yes, I am your Alternative Healthcare Career Coach. I'm going to introduce him first. So his name is Dr. Cristeto Azucena. He's actually a physician from San Pablo, Philippines. I used to cover him. Remember, in our group, I always say this, I used to be a pharmaceutical rep. For 10 years, I covered different physicians in different areas in the Philippines, and I sold drugs for a living, the legal ones, right? And he graduated in University of Santo Tomas in Manila. He's a diplomat and a fellow of the Philippine College of Physicians, and he's a member of the American College of Physicians, right? You hear that? He's a certified specialist of the Philippine Society of Hypertension. He's currently and presently the president of the San Pablo Doctors Hospital Medical Staff Organization and the vice president of San Pablo Medical Society. He's also the former president of the Parish Pastoral Council of San Pablo Cathedral Parish. Okay, those are medical stuff, right? Those are medical stuff. What we want to talk about is his alternative career. His alternative career. His alternative career, he's actually a photographer. He's a poet. Okay, he's a songwriter, he's a singer, he's an author, and he's got 2 published books, and he recently released his music album. He's a physician, ladies and gentlemen, and this group called Alternative Healthcare Career Group, he found his passion there in writing, in singing, in publishing books. So without further ado, we are going to bring in Dr. Cristeto Azucena. What is going on, doctor?
Hi, hello there. How are you? I'm very fine here in San Pablo in the Philippines, and I'm very glad to see you again, Mike. It's been a while. Oh yeah, as you have mentioned, we are all dreamers actually. We are given all this stuff to dream and to think about what is better for ourselves. Being a physician, it's really tasking. It's hard, to see a lot of patients every day and to take care of them in the hospital, especially in this time of pandemic. But then again, this season or this time also gave us the reason to think again, to look and to look at other ways how we can cope up with pandemic season like this. In your introduction, you said that all of us are dreamers. Yes, I believe that. During my time here in the college years, I usually discovered that I can write. I used to write a lot of scripts for our group, and then poetry just came, and when you have to write a lot of letters to your girlfriend or to your loved ones, I usually write poetry. But then I did realize that later in my life I could use them and could propel me to another stage when I could be happy, because aside from being a physician or being a doctor, there's another alternative route which can make you feel whole and complete. In my book, I mentioned that in our journey in life, we would always look back and we would always meet again the people that we have met in the past. And we would realize that all of them have contributed to your journey as a person. And that's why in my book in photography, these are all, as I see things, I also reflect on them. And I took pictures of them. I just froze that moment. And I realized that these are all part of the dream when I was young. So it's just that I froze them and put them into books, and that's how my photography book came about. Then I got also some involvement with our parish council, the church that I belong to. And during the time, our cathedral was due for restoration. So I took the liberty to research, to interview a lot of people, and to to go back into the history of the city, and I realized it's a very beautiful story that it's worth telling to. So that brought about another book. It's entitled The Cathedral of San Pablo. It's a photography journey chronicling all the developments of that church. And now it's one of the resource books that is used for people who wants to research on how this beautiful cathedral came about. So things like that, dreams, you just work onto them. You just don't let it be. Just do something to make your dreams possible. And the latest thing that happened to me is that I learned how to compose and to write music. And at the same time, I sang my composition. And then later on, I decided to record them, and then it was released now. At least last month, it was released in Spotify. Now it is in YouTube, in Apple Music, and iTunes. And I didn't realize that me, a physician, would have this kind of project later in my life. I'm 56 now, and I never realized that I would have done all these things if I just stuck to the usual things that I do as a doctor. But my challenge to you is that everyone has a dream. In your past, in your youth, you have to look back. You have to look, what is your passion? What are your desires? What are the things that would make you happy or what would complete you? And then work into it and listen to your heart. Sometimes you would discover there are a lot of things that you can still do, if you are a bit older than music. I discovered that music is ageless. It's not for the young people alone. It is for everyone. And as far as the feedback from the album that I have, some people were really affected by the songs. Some people appreciated it, and I'm very glad. I was not really expecting that these songs would be big hits, but the thing that it could affect some people, it could bring some joy or some positive feeling in them, is worthwhile. That's good enough. It would bring a new life in you. If you making some things like poetry, publishing books, or making songs, it could extend your life. Even when you're gone in this world, your music would remain, or your books would remain, and that's a legacy. It's I didn't really realize that it would be done, but because I continued dreaming, I continued believing that I have something. Reading the Bible is also part of my growth. I discovered that we are given a lot of talents. God has given all of us talents, but we have the responsibility to do something about these talents. You have to work at it. You should not waste the talents that you have. I know that a lot of you have learned how to do music during your younger years. Why not try to create? Why not try to write songs? Perhaps this could give you a new outlook, a new lease in your life, especially when you're nearing your senior years. There's a lot of other things that you could do. Writing, telling stories, telling your young people your life, and they would learn about it. They would really enjoy listening to you. I have lots of relatives. I have lots of grandchildren from my nieces and nephews, and I love lots of friends who are very willing to listen to my stories. I usually make a lot of stories, even to my patients. That's how we engage. We tell a lot of stories about their life, and I share also, and that makes me happy, even in my career as a physician. The act of communicating and telling your part of your stories to them would really make the difference. And now, as a singer composer, even my patients are now listening to my music, and they're happy discussing it with me. So that's it. And I always believe that we always have this capacity to evolve. We always have the capacity to make our life different, so much different from what we used to do. It's just that we continue believing in ourselves and discovering ourselves. The first thing that we have to do is to discover ourselves, to know ourselves.
I guess our last question, Doctor, is what is your biggest challenge and how did you turn it around, sir?
Oh, that was when I was younger, when I was in medical school. There was a time that I want to quit medicine at that time because I found it very difficult. It's, but my father said, no, you have to go on. This is just a temptation for you. Had I not listened to him, perhaps I would be not as happier as this. The lesson there is that the wisdom of your parents would always count a lot. There would be times in your life that you feel like you don't want to continue. You feel like quitting. But then in this type of situations, you have to look for persons you can trust who could give you sound advice. And in my case, it was my parents, and they were that gave me a lot of support and advice during those dark days when I want to quit medicine. And they said that these are just temptations in your life. It's that these are not really the answer for you. You know? Because they know me more and they can see that I can make it as a physician. They encourage me. And the good thing is that I listen to them. I'm trying to impart to a lot of young people now. If you have problems in your life or you're not sure of what you're doing or you want to do, don't be drastic in your decision. Ask for people, ask your parents for advice because they have that wisdom to see what is right in a different viewpoint. You have to ask people's viewpoint. Do not be drastic in making decisions whenever you are in a crossroad. Pray and ask your loved ones. They will support you and they will give you the best advice.
Oh wow, that is such a very powerful answer there, ladies.
Inuulit ko ho, pagod na po kami.
Matapang na nagpahayag ng saloob ng ilang medical frontliners sa isang online press conference kanina. Tila nalulunod na sa dami ng mga pasyenteng inaalagaan sa ospital at patuloy pang dumarating sa mga ospital dahil sa COVID-19.
Ako ay tinawag bilang doktor. Kahit sa ang sitwasyon, kailangan naroon. Nung bata pa ako, gusto kong maging doktor. Simple, bakit hindi? Kaya lang, hindi naman kami kayamanan. 8 kami magkakapatid. Inisip mo, ano na lang pwede kasi pang-7 akong anak. Ang nagkataon lang, swerte ako kasi ang tatay ko, veterano. Yung mga Philippine veterans kasi ay binibigyan ng isa sa mga kanilang mga pwedeng gawin ay yung kanilang anak ay pwedeng pag-aralin isa sa kanilang maging anak. Naswertehan ko na ako yung nagkaroon ng chance ang gamitin yung kanilang study benefits ng veterans. Okay, kung nais mong maging doktor, ako mismo. Una-una, kailangan ko ng pagmamahal doon sa pinili kong profesyon. hindi ka dapat pinilit, o kaya ito'y dapat ay iyong tinanggap na yun yung iyong role na gagawin sa buhay mo. It should be purpose. May purpose ka dapat. So, ano pa ang dapat mong gawin? Abay, dapat mag-aaral ka. Hindi pwedeng magiging doktor kung hindi ka nag-aaral. At ibig sabihin nun, more than 10 years kang pag-aaral. Pero, hindi mo dapat isipin na pag-aaral kang matagal. Pero kasi it is a process. Dahan-dahan mo namang makikita at mamahalin yung pinili ng profesyon. So, una, meron kang pasyensya na mag-aral. Meron kang dream, meron kang pangarap na gusto mong maging doktor. Kasi kung meron kang nung dalawang yun, ay tiyak, you could achieve it. Meron ka kasing gustong direksyon na puntahan. Ngayong panahon ng pandemya, bilang isang doktor, ano bang pwede kong may pangako? Ngayon, naging kakaiba kasi ang sitwasyong ito, no? Nagkaroon ng una, takot, pangamba sa lahat. Hindi lamang sa lahat ng tao, kundi sa mga doktor din. No? Kasi kauna-una ang mga naging seriously na naapektuhan nito ay yung mga doktor na nag-take care ng initial na mga COVID patients natin. Kaya nahawa sila. Kaya nagkaroon ng takot. Pero anong ngayon, habang nakikita na natin kung yung mga pamamaraan, kung paano tayo mag-iingat, bilang doktor, nadoon pa rin yung pangako mo sa sarili mo, pangako mo sa komunidad na nadoon ka dapat sa sitwasyon mo. Kung saan ka kinakailangan, kung kailangan mong manggamot, nadoon ka pa rin. Kung paano mo gagawin yun, iba't ibang pamamaraan. May telemedicine, o kaya naman may face-to-face pa rin, pero kaya lang by appointment ang mga ating mga pagtingin sa mga pasyente at pag-iingat. Nile-lecture natin ang mga pasyente natin na dapat nag-iingat ang bawat isa. Pero, ang hindi mo dapat gawin ay yung talikuran na yung profession. Yung matakot ka at ayaw mo nang maggamot. Ito ay, kung tatanungin ka ng Diyos, palagay ko mapapalo ka ng Diyos. Pag bigla kang tumalikod, ayaw mo nang maggamot. Ito yung panahon na dapat nadoon ka. Ito yung panahon na dapat magsilbi ka. Kasi sa iyo kakapit yung mga tao na nagkakasakit. Lalo na sa ganitong pandemic. Paano kung wala ka? Sino ang gagamot sa kanila? Kaya yun rin yung mapapangako ko na naririto pa rin kami despite of na meron threat at may takot, nadoon ka pa rin. Sa palagay ko, yun yung isa sa mga pamamaraan para may pakilala mo na ako ay tinawag bilang doktor kahit sa ang sitwasyon kailangan natin ito.
Mas lalong nagtiwala ang mga tao ngayon sa mga doktor. Kaya ng doktor na pagalingin o kaya ng doktor na matulungan ang bawat tao na magkakasakit.
Sa panahong ito, mas naniniwala ako na yung tiwala at kumpiyansa ng mga tao sa doktor ay mas lalong tumaas. Actually, na iba yung pananaw nila sa pagiging sa mga doktor. Kasi dati, di ba, nagkakaroon tayo yun ng mga maling pagpakilala sa doktor, nagkakaroon ng mga media bashing na tinatawag, no? Kung ano-ano. Pero ngayon, nawala yun kasi nakita nila na talaga palang tutulong sa kanila yung mga scientists, mga doktor, mga men of science sa ganitong mga sitwasyon. Hindi naman natin itatakwil yung mga tao o kaya tatalikuran dahil pare-pareho tayong exposed. Hindi. Actually, ang magle-level up talaga yung mga doktor. Sila yung gagawa ng parang iligtas yung mga nagkasakit. Kaya nga, hats off sa lahat ng mga frontliners natin na during the early stages of this pandemic, talagang grabe yung kanilang sakripisyo. At ako'y natutuwa na dumating na nga yung mga panahon, meron na tayong vaccine, at least nakikita na natin yung liwanag sa tinatahak natin ito. Dapat ay magbigay tayo ng hope sa lahat ng lahat ng ito ay matatapos at ang doktor mismo ang magsasabi. Kaya we have to believe in science, we have to believe in the medical expertise. Sila pa rin yung magtuturo ang tamang kasagutan sa mga dinadaanan natin. Ito po ay si Dr. Cristeto Aya Azucena, isang internal medicine specialist. Isa rin po akong psychologist at ako'y nagtapos sa University of Santa Cruz. Kaya nga, kumpiyansya, tiwala at pagmamahal sa doktor dapat. Marami. Kung sa pangarap, ang dami mong pangarap. Pero ang realization ko nga ngayon, pwede mo palang matupad yung mga pangarap mo kahit nasa isa kang profesyon tulad ng medicine, pagiging doktor. At ito'y naranasan ko, lalo na ngayong panahon ng pandemya, nung nagkaroon tayo ng extra time na maintindihan ano pa ba yung pwede kong gawin dahil sa limited na yung aking kilo sa ospital, limited na yung mga schedule. Ayun, marami akong nadiskubre kasi nung bata ako, gusto ko matuto magpiano. Hindi naman ako nagkaroon ng pagkakataong mag-aral. Yung nag-aral ng piano, yung mga kapatid ko. Ngayon, may piano kami sa bahay. At inaaral ko siya. At nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na natuto talaga akong magpiano on my own. Yung tinawag na uwido. At out of that, pangarap, magpiano. Pangarap ko rin maging mga awit. Yun. Kaya nung bata ako, member ako ng choir, yung Sancti Juanis Choir sa Cathedral, kahit sa UST, yung UST College of Science Choir, part ako. So yun, habang ginagawa mo yung gusto mong gawin, in between, nagagawa mo rin naman yung mga pangarap mo. So lahat yun, pag-awit, pagtugtog, minsan pagsulat, pangarap ko yun nung bata ako. Pero na-realize ko lahat ngayong mga panahon ito, pwede palang mangyari. Yung susunod ko naman gusto ikwento, as a singing doctor, nakakatawa na si doktor kumakanta. Pero sabi ko, bakit naman hindi, di ba? Hindi naman nililimitahan yung talent ng pag-awit para lamang sa singers, di ba? Ito'y binibigay ng Diyos sa atin. Ang lagi siguro, kasi ako ay membro ng isang grupo, yung Christian Life Community. Ito ay isang group na we pray and we discuss our life. Ang ating nagre-reflect kami, ano ba nangyayari sa buhay natin as a community. At ang part nun, we read a lot of the Gospels. At isang nakapukaw sa akin na gospel story is yung the parable of the talents, yung binigyan ng Diyos ang several people ng talent, tapos pinabalik niya nga ang talent. Halimbawa, binigyan ko siya ng 10 piso, 5 piso, gano'n. Tapos pinabalik yung mga tao, anong ginawa mo doon sa binigay ko sa'yo? Tapos yung isa, dahil matatakutin siya, ang ginawa niya, binaon na lang niya yung binigay ng Diyos sa kanya at hinukay niya muli. Ito po, binaong ko sa lupa. Tapos ito, binabalik ko sa iyo. Anong kaparusahan niya? Di pinakulong siya. Ikaw, binigyan na nga kita ng talent, hindi mo ginamit. Wala kang silbi. Tapos sino yung binigyan ng reward na yung gumamit ng talent niya? Lord, sabi niya, ito po ang ginawa ko. Yung binigyan niyo ako ng 100, yung 10 piso, ininvest ko, yung 10 piso, binili ko ng ganito. Hanggang nung ibinalik ko sa inyo, grabe, mas yung 100 pesos niya, siguro nagang 10,000 pesos, parang gano'n. Lumaki. Ganon din yung pananaw ko sa talent. Kung ikaw ay binigyan ng Diyos ng talent na kumanta, magsulat, o kaya ay iba-ibang talent, magpinta or gumawa, gamitin mo yun. Hindi dahil doktor ka, hindi mo gagamit. Gamitin mo yun kasi meron kang dapat gawin doon sa binigay na talent sa'yo. Yung pagkanta kasi, nung bata pa kami, alam ko, marunong ako kumanta. Kasi yung mga kapatid ko lahat, kumakanta. Yung pamilya namin, 8 kami magkakapatid, tapos yung nanay ko, teacher, tatay ko, abogado. Mahilig silang kumanta. So, part ng aming gathering, social gathering, ay wala. kanta-kantahan o yung happiness. Kung titingnan mo ano ba yung mga happy moments sa pamilya, ang pinipili ko lagi ay yung panahon kami kanta ng kanta ng mga bata kami. Nadala ko yun habang ako yung tumanda. Kaya nga nung nasa UST na ako, College of Science, naging member ako ng Glee Club. Actually, mahihain ako. Kaya lang yung aking katabi sa seatmate, naririnig niya ako manta. Nangyari ka, pumunta tayo, may audition. Nagyayo ako, hindi ko marunong. Hanggang itinulak niya ako dun sa, ito na yung audition, itinulak ako. O, anong gagawin? Kakanta. Hanggang sa nabuksan yung mundo ng pag-awit. Yun. Tapos nung umuwi nga ako dito sa Pablo, naging membro ako ng Sancti Juanis Choir. Kumakanta sila sa cathedral every 4 o'clock. Ayun na, nagsimula na kahit naging doktor ako, it's part ng pagiging doktor, kumakanta, kumawit. So, yun nga, dahil kumakanta ka, tapos ang bata ka, natuto ka mag-piano, nagkaroon ng panahon na ang gusto mo ay meron ka ring iwanan na hindi ilap na kumanta ka or kay mag-compose ka. Kasi marunong akong magsulat ng tula, nilapatan ko ng tugtog na galing doon sa tunog ng piano na eventually naging posible pala, no? Nagkaroon ng yung tula, nagkatugtog, naging kanta siya. At itong nagbigay ng pamamaraan para makapag-produce ako ng isang kanta. Ang kauna-una ang kanta nga ay kahit konting pahinga. Ito ay aming sinulat kasi yung aming asosasyon ng mga doktor, yung sa Pablo City Medical Society, kailangan mag-submit ng entry din sa PMA or Philippine Medical Association. So, it's supposed to be a songwriting contest. So, like, sige, ito, nagawa namin yung kanta within a week's time. Actually, 1-2 days gawa ng kanta. On the 3rd day, nire-record na siya. Parang ganun kabilis. And ang kagandahan, maganda kasi yung naging message nung kanta. It's tungkol para sa mga frontliner natin. Napapagod din sila. Kailangan pala para to serve the people well, kailangan magpahinga ka. So yun, siya'y nagkaroon ng parang world premiere, sa Facebook Live, no? Ang nakakatuwa nun, nung in-announce na, meron kaming release na kanta. Pinakanta ko yung aking grupong doktor ng Medical Society, kahit hindi naman umilang singer. Pero out of the passion, out of the love, gusto namin i-contribute ito sa panahon ng pandemya. Really? Sige, gawa tayo. Si Kuya Jimmy Hernandez ang tumugtog. Sinundan niya lang yung composition ko, no? At ang katuwang ko, yung kantang yun, kahit konting pahinga, was viewed doon sa araw na yun. 25,000 viewers yun. Tapos lumaki na lang hanggang sa 50,000 views yun sa Facebook nung time na yun. So sabi ko, pwede pala. Until that song, Open New Doors, sabi nga ni Kuya Jenny, maganda yung kanta mo, magsulat ka pa ng iba. Pinakinggan rin yung mga kapatid ko sa Australia, sabi nga, maganda yung kanta, magsulat ka pa. Sabi ko, sige, magsulat. Yung mga ganun. Until it opened doors na makapag-produce ako ng mga siguro 6 or 7 pang kanta. At ito yung naging isang album. At i-present ko ito nun sa Spotify. Tinanong ko, pwede ba itong ma-release sa Spotify? Sabi niya, pwede. Sabi niya, you contact this. May mga proseso, may ganun-ganun. Until yun nga, last year, November, nagawa na yung album at ito'y ni-release bagong magpasko. Yun, ang title is Tatak. Actually, Tatak San Pablo dapat yun. Ibig sabihin yung sumulat ay tiga San Pablo. Pero Tatak lang. Tatak. Tapos sinulat ni Cristeto Azucena na hindi ko maintindihan na nangyari pala. No? Yung parang out of the posible pala na pag may mga pagkakataong dapat mong gawin, gagawin mo at it would open doors. it opened doors na maraming tao actually naka-appreciate na maganda pala yung message ang kanta mo, no? May sinulat akong kanta tungkol sa San Pablo, Pasko sa San Pablo, na napakinggan nyo na nga sa YouTube yung sinulat ni Eric, yung kanyang vlog. It was well received. Tapos hanggang ngayon, pinapakinggan pa rin. Nasa Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, at saka sa YouTube yung musika. It is available sa digital format. Pero sabi ko nga, nagkaroon ng sariling buhay yung mga kanta. Yung hindi mo in-expect na pwede pala na yung nararamdaman mo, yung talent mo, i-share mo. Meron niyang pupuntahan. Siguro yun nga yung sinasabi ng Diyos sa kanyang scripture. Kung may talent ka, gamitin mo. Kasi may pupuntahan siya at may mga taong maaapektuhan niya. Tulad ng awit na yun, marami yung doon sa kahit konting pahinga. Imagine mo, 50,000 people were affected with that song. At siguro nadadagdagan pa. Tapos yung mga, may kanta rin doon na Oyayi para kay Inay, para sa nanay ko. She's 93 years old. She's bedridden now. Parang sabi ko, gagawa ako ng kanta sa'yo para every time na bumibisita ako sa'yo, play lang natin yung music, meron ka naririnig. So yun yung mga storya ng mga doktor na biglang naging singer na mga awit at kompositor.
Anong ligay? and dedicated people of the Philippine Medical Association. Together, let us welcome them as they are with us. Let us welcome Dr. Authority Emmanuel Loyola, past President, 2004. Dr. Randy Mello, past President, 2019-2020. We'll have the incoming Center for Waste and Means. Dr. Jovino Chumacera, our Chair for Environment and Ecology Projects. Let us welcome Dr. Laila Largoza, our Disaster and Calamity Preparedness Chair.
body of Christ, save me.
Water from the side of Christ, wash me.
Passion of Christ, give me strength.
Hear me, Jesus, hide me in thy wounds, that I may never leave thy side. From all the evil that surrounds me, defend me. And when the call of death arrives, bid me come to thee, that I may praise thee with thy saints forever.
Hear me, Jesus, hide me in thy wounds, that I may never leave thy side. From all the evil that surrounds me, defend me.
And when the call of death arrives, bid me come to thee, that I may praise thee with thy saints
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ang
Puso ko'y tigib ng kasayahan, dahil ako'y nasama sa tanan. Ang lahat may gintong nasa, makisig at masigla. Kapisanan ay tunay ang damdamin, suliranin itong baya'y pawiin. Ilalangin natin ng tapat sa may kapal, ay lunas sa lahat. Awit ng GMA, tayo ay mag-iwan, magtulungan, pagunlad ng bayan. Ang kailangan, ibigay sa kanan, kalusugan at kasaganaan. Ang puso ko'y tigib ng kasayahan, dahil ako'y kasama sa tanan. Ang lahat may gintong nasa, makisig at masigla. Kapisanan ay tunay ang damdamin, suliranin itong baya'y pawiin. Ilalangin natin ang tapat sa may kapal, may lunas sa lahat. Ilalangin natin ang tapat sa may kapal, may lunas sa
You may always be there. As most of us know, 2022 will mark San Pablo City Medical Society's 75th founding anniversary. And what a great way for us to commemorate and celebrate it by launching our official song for this very momentous event. So to start off, let's listen to Awit ng Manggagamot, written by our very own Dr. Cristeto Azucena.
Tinawag upang maglingkod, daluyan ang lunas ng bayang sinta. Kami mga manggagamot ng lungsod ng pitong lawa. Bukas ang aming mga palad sa pagkalinga sa inyong lahat. Dalangin namin sa tuwina, kalusugan, kagalingan ng aming kapwa. Kami mga manggagamot ng lungsod ng San Pablo. Buhay namin naalay sa bayan naming minamahal. Tinawag upang maglingkod, daluyan ng lunas ng bayang sinta. Kami mga manggagamot ng lungsod ng pitong lawa. Bukas ang aming mga palad sa sa pagkalinga sa inyong lahat. Dalangin namin sa tuwina, kalusugan, kagalingan ng aming kapwa. Kami mga manggagamot ng lungsod ng San Pablo, buhay namin alay sa bayan namin
Thank you, Dr. Keto, for such a wonderful and touching song. So we have seen what the San Pablo City Medical Society has been through the years. So tonight is another remarkable night for San Pablo City Medical Society, and I feel privileged to be here with all of you. Our distinguished guests, past and incoming officers and colleagues. Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Maria Angelica Jlen, and I will be the master of the ceremony for tonight. It is heartwarming to look around and see some people in the flesh, though we may be few, and online, for such a momentous occasion for our society. But we wouldn't all be here today without the efforts and leadership of our past presidents, one of whom is here with us right now to formally greet all of us. May we call on Dr. Randy Mello for his welcome remark.
To our distinguished guests from the National PMA Executive Board, led by our National President, Dr. Benito P. Atienza, the PMA Board of Governors, represented by our very own Dr. Angelito Belen, Governor for Southern Tagalog 2021-2022, Dr. Mirna Sepanta, our Stamp President 2021-2022, newly inducted Component Presidents of Stamp 2021-2022, Dr. Edgardo Noblejas Jr., our outgoing President of the San Pablo City Medical Society, Dr. Cristeto Azucena, our incoming President of the San Pablo City Medical Society, and all incoming officers 2021-2022, past presidents of SPCMS, fellow members and colleagues, our pharma friends, family, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening. It is my pleasure and a great honor and privilege to welcome everyone tonight. Thank you for sparing your time to grace this special annual event of our medical society. Again, we would like to extend our special welcome to our guest of honor and inducting officer, our National PMA President, Dr. Benito P. Atienza, who will be speaking later tonight. Thank you, sir. I would like to wish everyone and your families good health and safety in these difficult times. I would also like to express my profound gratitude to all the doctors, nurses, and other health workers and non-health workers who are serving so selflessly on the front lines during this global health crisis. Thank you so much, frontliners, for your sacrifices and dedication. Going back to our main event, tonight we will be celebrating the 74th turnover and induction ceremony of the San Pablo City Medical Society for the year 2021-2022. I know that there will be difficulties and challenges ahead, especially during these difficult times. But rest assured that we are all behind you to give our unwavering support. Thank you again, everyone, for being here tonight to celebrate with us our 74th induction ceremony. I am excited, and I know you are also excited. So let the celebrations begin. Good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Mello. So this time, let us hear from another kind of our society who led us in 2002 to 2004, our past president, Dr. Emma Loyola, to acknowledge our distinguished guests and introduce to everyone our guest of honor for this ceremony.
Thank you very much. I am given the unenviable task of introducing our guest of honor. And I noticed that I will also be introducing our guests. And I noticed that we have 90 participants in our Zoom. So that means a lot of our friends and members are attending. And we also heard already earlier that our staff president, Dr. Zapanta, the other half of past Governor Jlen Zapanta is also around. And we have presidents from the different medical societies of Southern Tagalog. That means Southern Tagalog is still a force to reckon with as far as PMA is concerned. And of course, our members and past presidents who are present with us tonight. Now, going to my main task of introducing our guests of honor. I was told earlier that ceremonies should be short, concise, and so that we won't be having a prolonged exposure to one another, because this is a face-to-face or hybrid induction ceremonies. And thank you, Dr. Azucena, for making this event to happen. This is the first time that I wear my parong in a medical society event outside of courts. So our guest of honor is actually a very accomplished physician, civic leader, and if I will be mentioning all his accomplishments, then the night is too short. So he just wants to make it known to us that he was born in the year of the tiger. Perhaps he does not want to divulge his age, but your guess is probably as good as mine. He is a registered medical technologist, Doctor of Medicine from De La Salle University College of Medicine. He had his residency training in pediatrics at the Fe Del Mundo Medical Center Foundation. He is the chair of the Department of Pediatrics, Mary Pediatrics Medical Center from 2016 to 2020. He is the PMA Vice President 2018 to 2020. I believe I started being your counsel by the time. The Secretary General of the Philippine Medical Association from 2016 to 2018. Our National Treasurer for the years 2013 to 2015. And just like our very own Dr. Angelito Belen, he served as the PMA Governor for Southern Tagalog in the year 2010-2011. And the President of the Community Pediatrics Society of the Philippines It goes without saying that he became a PMA governor for Southern Tagalog. That means he has served as president of the STAM, of Southern Tagalog Association of Medical Practitioners. He is the chair and president of Child Bulilit Health Workers Foundation from 1996 to present. San Pablo City has participated in the Bulilit Health Workers, right? He received so many awards and citations that he chose only a few. And of course, those few are shining awards. He was awarded as a physician of the world. So this is worldwide, by the World Medical Association in the year 2005. Cited by the World Health Organization during World Health Day in the year 2007. An outstanding Filipino physician awardee in 2009. The first recipient of Dr. Jose P. Rizal Memorial Award of Distinction in Community Leadership in 2004. Earlier, the Dr. Jose P. Rizal Memorial Award, there are no categories, only one award. So, our guest of honor is the first recipient of this award of distinction in community leadership. First, back-to-back awards of Philippine Pediatric Society and Community Pediatric Society of the Philippines, Dr. Fred Del Mundo Awards. He was also awarded just quite recently, in May 2021, awarded by the University Faculty of Pharmacy as a Distinguished Alumni Awardee during the quadricentennial celebration of the Pontifical and Royal University of Santo Tomas. And friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you, kindly welcome, our President, Dr. Benito P. Atienza.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction to our past governor of Southern Tagalog, Dr. Eman Loyola. Siya rin po ang aking lawyer, personal lawyer. Hindi ko matandaan na natin na may reklamo pa. To our incumbent PMA governor, Dr. Jlen, our staff president, Dr. Gina Sapanta, Dr. Birna, mismo na po ang staff set Occidental Mindoro. Magandang po kami doon. At sinabi po ni Atty. Eman, kami po ay nasa gitna, ako po ay napagitnaan ni Dr. Sapanta. Kasi after po ni Dr. Atty. Eman, si Dr. Sapanta po, tapos hindi pa lang po susunod. Kaya susunod po kay Dr. Jlen, kay Dr. Sapanta, hindi pa na ulit po. Yan po ang succession sa standard po. Then I would like to also to meet our past president of the San Pablo Medical Society, starting with our outgoing Dr. Ricardo Arnold Jr., then Dr. Randy Melo, Dr. Leandro and Masaga Jr., then Dr. Angelo A. Sampelo, sana wala po malimutan, Dr. Danilo T. Dumayas, sila po yung pamula pa ng 10 dekada na po ako dito sa national, kaya nakasabay po ito. My friend, Dr. Sana Cariaga Silsier, then Dr. Natividad and Cariaga. Siya po yung aking president sa Pablo Medical Society when I was the governor. Dr. Heidi Biray Sarmiento, Dr. Bal Ebneri, Dr. Mesonia Billen Tan, Dr. Francia Villanueva, then Dr. Dionisio A. Gutierrez, Dr. Norman Lorenzo Alivio, Dr. Amor M. Awaya, Dr. Jean Francis Abril, Dr. Maria Cynthia B. Sanchez, Dr. Maria Consuelo Insho, Dr. Manuel Acosta, Dr. Raul Ciabal, then Dr. Apolinario E. Esconde, Dr. Milencio B. Marilin, Dr. Medvin A. Mercado, Dr. Rodelo Esquiva, Dr. Armando T. Reyes, Dr. Domingo G. Jlen, Dr. Leonardo Siconde. Wala pa po ako nalimutan. Last night po may nalimutan po ako eh. The outgoing officers, starting with, siyempre, nandiyan po si Dr. Gardenas, then Dr. Azucena, Seco Azucena, then Dr. Ella Lorraine Dia, Dr. Prospero A. Planta, then Dr. Alma Valdez, your incoming treasurer. Then, the incoming president, Dr. Azucena, the vice president, first, Dr. Ella Lorraine Dia, then the vice president, second vice president, Dr. Jericho Gutierrez, Dr. Maria Angelica Jlen, siya po yung aming associate consultant po ng Pages sa Mediatry. Namimiss ko na si Dr. Jlen. Then, nasa likod ko po siya. Dr. Almo Valdez, PR, the treasurer, the PRO, Dr. Rowena A. Azucena, the counselor, Dr. Jenny C. Bondal, Dr. Mark Lauren G. Reserve, Dr. Royla Vicente M. Lucento Vega Stella, and Dr. David D. Banayo. Good evening po sa inyo lahat, and alam ko po, for 1 decade, every induction po ay nandito po ako. And I cannot 58, 29, or 30 kayo yung induction. Nag-start po naman natin June 1 ng fiscal year. And as I know po, sabi nga nila, the city of 7 days is the center of Southern Tagalog. Kaya po nung alam ko yun, po yung PPS Southern Tagalog dito po sa San Pablo kasi ito po yung sentro ng Southern Tagalog. This is a great privilege for me to be here at your induction ceremonies. 74 na, lapit na. Next year, 73 na po. Sana invited ko rin po ako. On behalf of the national officers of 2020-2021, on behalf of our PMA Governor, Dr. Sally, I would like to thank Dr. Sally. Siya po ay napakasipag at isa pong dahil pinagandaan po niya ang ating Dr. Teresa Memorial Awards and Lecture. Even I went to Manila para makita po yung ating guest speaker a day before our convention. Then, ito po, pakinggan ninyo ng kahit pa ulit-ulit po sinasabi ko sa ibang mga societies, at least po, narito po yung gist ng ating gagawin sa ating PSA. With the reality of the increasing cases of COVID-19 in the country, coupled with the gradual rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, we do believe that nowadays, access to reliable and scientific-based information is more important than ever. The worldwide outbreak of the COVID-19 virus has been a source of unexpected suffering for many people, although the reason for the current vaccine still not left our guard down. The impact of this pandemic is left and long term. Its effect both the physical and mental health everywhere in our places, our community, and even in our own homes. One of the ways we can be champion to our members is to be good stewards of their membership dues. That means being financially responsible with their money, both in what we spend and in what we spend upon. Through the engagement dialogue, we continue to prioritize issues that matter most to our members. We have been optimizing our efforts to support the new priorities while also sustaining the momentum of ensuring issues. The 10-point agenda we are doing for the last year. The engineering or redesigning the PMA as an organization to make more responsive to the changing needs of the members by decentralizing or devolving some of its powers to local informed societies. Amending the bylaws to make it responsive to prevent future situations. Kaya alam ko, hindi po namin naabot ang ating hinahangat na 2 years vote ng general membership. Enhancing the collaborative efforts with the government in the pursuit of the national health objectives. 4. Assuring the general membership that we will be cautious in the management of its fund by applying the principle of transparency and accountability. Yan po ginagawa natin. Nakikita po natin sa ating members ang kaperahan ng National PMA. Wala po kami tinatago at as of now, meron po tayong magandang accounting system. Continuing professional development for members that aspire to align global integration. Later on, in our regional assemblies in State po natin, meron na po tayo ngayon, tinatawag natin Philippine Qualification Framework. Dahil po ng doktor, nasa PQF 7. At po ito ay may specialty sa specialty nasa PQ18 po tayo. Enhanced participation in environmental climate change advocacy. Kanina po hapon, nag-meeting kami with Dr. Jlen. At ano na po natin, and next week, last before we met with the healthcare with the OTR, at i-implement na po natin, actually nakastate na po ni Dr. Jlen, mga lecture regarding climate change, ano gagawin sa ating mga medical cases during pandemic. And we will launch po, siguro po bago mag-end ako more with Dr. Jlen, mag-search po tayo for the outstanding clinic. Then after po nun, yung ECO hospital naman, under Dr. Alvareza. Strengthen the non-discriminatory principle that every physician, regardless of his field of interest and specialization, has his or her place in the practice of medicine. Commitment to constant dialogue with the allied health professionals and allied health providers. For the first time po, for the last 15 years, hindi po tayo involved sa ating allied professionals. Doon sa COPA, ito po yung Confederation of Health Alliance po ng nurses. At ako po isang member doon, ang PMA. And we are a member po ngayon ng 44 professional under PRC po. Kaya po tayo ang nagawa sa forum regarding the role of professionals in the healthcare system. Last 3 weeks ago, during the PRC meeting. Increase its strength in constructive but close engagement in the regulatory bodies of the government and legislature. Dito po tayo sa problema kung may mga issues regarding sa Congress and Senate. And be assured, before tayo magbigay po ng statement, dumadaan po yan sa special commissions, special societies, at sa lahat po ng ating Board of Governors and national officers. And then, raising the public awareness on the role of physicians as leaders and vanguards of the people's health and well-being, especially during this pandemic. What are the plans of the Philippine Medical Association? We will start our strategic planning with the national officers and Board of Governors. Itutuloy po namin ang aming aim at saka po yung aming strategic planning that last year. Then we will schedule our board meetings every third Saturday of the month. And we will schedule the 14th PMCPD regional assemblies in according to our governors will be held on this coming January of 2022. Continue the regular cluster meetings for all the newly elected to society officers and specialty and related societies. we will have the second PMA Virtual Leadership Conference. Dati po ang nakaka-attend sa leadership conference natin in case of the face-to-face na natin. Ngayon po, more than 400. Kasi lahat po ng officers ay involved na to this our leadership conference. Invite natin sa 4 clusters. Virtual is in line with the alignment of the Commission and communities and the defining their function. We will implement the accounting manual. We will try to improve the PMA facilities po kasi marami na kong pinipulong and magkakaroon po ng institutions. We will enhance the PMA employees handling. Magkakaroon na rin po tayo ng meeting with the field health. Yung pong accreditation committee, hindi na lang po national, magkakaroon na po ng regional, the regional governors will present PMA in their respective region. What are the 3 fundamental aspects of practice of medicine we are doing? The first is caring, second science, and the most important thing is ethics. Regarding caring of our members, we continue the visual and digital benefits for our members. We monitor, sana po monitor din sa Pablo Medical Society ang kondisyon po ng ating season members of our PMA. We will set guidance for disaster and calamity benefits kasi 2 years ago we allotted 2% of our budget to the disaster and calamity benefits po pero wala po bang guidelines. As of June 30, 2021, our total number of members has reached 87,704, with active members of 51,314. Yung last po, ang ating active members yung bumoboto based on our total is 33,000. Kaya, napakahirap po makuha ang 2/3 votes. Kaya dapat po lahat po ay makaboto po sa aming darating na referendum. The mutual aid funds released starting the fiscal year 2020-2021. Total death benefits 188, amounting to 8.9 billion. Disability benefits 550 claims, total of 11.3 billion. Incluso sa 550 po kasama na dyan ang 477 claims due to moderate COVID and severe COVID po na 9.7 million. With a total of 20,463 pesos. Kulang po ito kasi hanggang May 31 po yung ating dates and yung application up to 15 po. Kaya meron pa kong pinadalamin dito na 2.5 million, almost 23 million po. The highest, ano po yan, mutual aid benefits na to be given by PMA po in the history. Regarding caring of our environment, we are promoting the climate change advocacies. Like I said, we will have the search for the eco clinic and eco hospital that will include the waste management, the disposal of biomedical waste, in the electronic procurement, in lahat ng regions, healthcare personal participation, environment sanitation, energy efficiency, and water efficiency. Actually po, ang climate change is one of the topic po sa World Medical Association at they have one week po to discuss the climate change under WHO. We also want society to submit the calamity and disaster response team, including the medical missions and rehabilitation. In fact, with Dr. Jlen, we went to Taalco, Agoncillo area, and distributed po sa Manila, sa mga nasa mga outside ng kanilang mga bahay, sa mga bahay kasi delikado na po yung Agoncillo and Lowell. And yesterday, we went to Lowell naman, we went there sa tatlong areas nila yung mga school po. Then, we launched sa bakuna ng kalsa on May 27, 2021. to promote well-being among healthcare workers, the nurses, the doctors, the midwives, the pharmacists, kasama po dyan ang professionals po. And this July 20 and 21, we invited to the 300 doctors that will participate in the vaccination of 3,000 in Pusa Putra. Then, we will continue helping our DOAs and LGU in the vaccine rollout. And please do watch the Lingkod Bayan Tuhan from Talas Pasabayan every Sunday 10 to 11 a.m. at PTV Channel 4. Palagi pong guest dyan ang PLA. And we will continue our telemedicine teleconsultant 2.3H. This was started with PLA in collaboration with the Beta Sigma ng mga doctors ng FEU at to prevent and overcome the hospitals due to COVID-19 pandemic, to prevent unnecessary exposure to COVID-19 for patients needing medical care and refuse prescription via insurance prescription, to provide personal medical advice through non-physical contact, and to set up a better system within the locality for COVID and non-COVID patients. We have partnership with the Philippine Red Cross Health Partners, the doctors, nurses, for volunteers in time of disaster calamity, and especially during this rollout of vaccines. We need more vaccinators. We still accept donations in time of PPE, face shields, and masks to be given to our members. We would like to invite the Sao Paulo Medical Society to join us in the PMA Doc Sana project. Ito po yung pumunta po ng orphanages at to give short na sa mga bata, and we give them sa mga orphanages at saka sa less privileged areas po. The Philippine Medical Association also reactivated the Doctors of Boats program to be able to penetrate the remote and city-planted barangays to deliver crucial medical services as well as relief goods. Ito po ay kuha sa isang area po sa Tugigaraw. Yung kanilang rice field ay naging lake. At yung area naman na may mga bahay, siya ay naging isolated, naging island. Kaya we need to go there by boat. It is coordinated with the PNP and Philippine Coast Guard. Then, this is the one close to my heart. Ako po ay 25 years na nagsisilbi sa PNP, and this project po was started during my first year practice in Lipa, in San Jose. Was organized during the outbreak of typhoid in our town. Ako po yung nakakapagpapit sa amin ito ay inimpisahan ko, and this is the Dr. Jlen and the Congress. Kaya po 10 million, 10 years na rin po ako sa nag-government. Yan po yung pinag-government sa PNP pinakaman ko. And we will celebrate on September 18 our anniversary. And po, ito po ang 40 students, isa po yung namatay, birthday na lang sila. Kasi po sila yung mga nanay at tatay na. Pero mostly po sa kanila ay naging nurses. May mga din po, engineer. So po yung picture was taken, wala po pa naglalagay. And then po, June 8, 1996 po, I was the counselor of the Pacific Medical Society. This is the my advocacy was effective and innovative. Yeah, ito po, sila po ay part ng agapay ng kalusugan. Sila po ay naging health, ng San Jose that time. Yan. Nakakakilala din na nagtago po nila yung certificate na sign ko given during the 26th of September 1996. Kasi po, sinagot po yan talagang tinatag ko sa medicine week na mag-graduation sila. And after their graduation, hintay ko sila mag-graduate ng basic skills at bibigyan ulit namin ng certificate. Yung hindi ko lang nakakita dito, nakatuloy niya yung mga meta sila that time. And we will re-enact his first lecture on August 8 next month. And we will implement the rules and regulations in coordination with the PRC Board of Principals. We will promote the World Medical Association in the direction of ethics. And for the first time, they installed the Philippine Medical Association. We will celebrate the World Ethics Day on September 18 with the signing of the Code of Ethics of the Medical Profession that will include the telemedicine. Regarding science, we will continue the monthly webinars, regional assemblies, annual convention, cluster meetings. Tandaan po natin scientific meeting po, accredited, will be equivalent to 1 PRC CPD units. Ang pinakamalaki po lang mabibigay dyan is 15 minutes. Yun po sa yung mahaba yun. Pero binigyan po tayo ng 22 minutes sa ating national convention. We will continue the online introduction course for research writing for our residents. Then, we invite the residents to be part of the research presentation during the annual convention. And those who want those fellows in training, we invite them to join the Takeda Fellowship Grant in Japan. What the Commission on Professional Specialization will concentrate on the residency training program under the Special Education and Special Society, under the guidance of the PRC for the and we inform you the Philippine Qualification Framework. During the pandemic, we clustered all the component sciences into 4. Cluster 1 for Mindanao, Cluster 2 for Visayas and Bicol, Cluster 3 NCI Southern Tagalog, and Cluster 4 for the rest of the Luzon region. Dates to remember, please join us in the foundation day po. 180 na po ang Philippine Medical Association. 180 sa September 15. Then we will celebrate our medicine week. This is Presidential Proclamation for every 4th week of September 19 to 25. Then our very national election and local elections is March 13, 2022. And I do hope that Attorney Evan will accept the Comelec again, Chairman. Then, very national convention was stated to May 17 to 21. Kung makikita niyo po, dapat po May 7 kasi kung national convention is 60 days after the proclamation of the winners for the Philippine national election. Then, we participate in the outside our country. We are a member of the Medical Association of Southeast Asian Nations or MASIAN. Then, we will join the 35th CHAO Convention, attending the 56th Council meeting. Nakakalungkot lang po na buti na lang po nakasama kay Dr. Santiago, our past president, kasi yung pong president ng CMAO ay namatay sa COVID sa India. And that time po, 2 years ago, naka-attend pa kami ng CMAO sa India. It is online there, September 2 to 3. Then, we will register na po sa World Medical Association General Assembly will be held in London on October 7 to 15. Kaya nga lang po, virtual din. Wala na akong personal. Hindi po po, yan, Dr. Jlen, pinopromote ko na ang ating 31st Dr. Sephiri Sanmore Award, Filipino Distinction. Filipino Distinction of 2022 in 5 categories: government service, community leadership, clinical practice, research, and academic. Then, as I said, please encourage your fellows in training. Kung meron kayong kamag-anak or ano po in training, to join the Scholarship o Filipino Doctors sa Takeda Science Foundation. Ito po lang Takeda, ito po lang nalaman na 50 years na po nagpapadala tayo sa Japan ng training school. And then we will have the golden anniversary of the training nila sa December. Clinical studies for 2 to 6 months, basic medical research, maximum of 2 years. Then, please invite your member or nominate your member to the Outstanding Filipino Physician for 2021. 22 kilos of white were honored last December 2020. And during this Medicine Week is coming 2021, we will award another 20 Outstanding Filipino Physician Posthumous Awards. Kaya po kung may kilala kayo na member natin, with snacking, na nakakain sa COVID, inominate po natin po this award. Then, on December 2020, starting po, on December 2021, a new set of Outstanding Filipino Awards will be announced. Yan po ang mga we have DOFT 2209 nakasama po dyan, and then 2008 and 2007. It's open to all Filipino physicians, naturalized or natural born at least 41 years old, active in the Philippines. Then dedication to medical professionals to public health and to advance medical testing in the country, exemplifies the JCI tenet that service to humanity is the best work of life. Para mapapapod yung platform, yung link, saka yung phone call, yan po. If you already registered and you want to, yung na-miss nyo na lecture, makapanood po pa nila yun. Including pa yung sa platform, yung sa natin sa lobby, makakapasok po kayo rin yun. And based on your attendance to CPD units po rin. If you completed po the hours, you can let the highest percent CPD units. Success is easier achieved if we work together as one. Contain the COVID-19 pandemic. We must work together to find ways for all health workers to be one of the management of this virus. On behalf of the Philippine Medical Association, the national officers and board of governors, we are very grateful to all of the clients, especially those who sacrifice their lives for the sake of seeing their patients and serving their community. The Philippine Medical Association is dedicating the public activities, events, to the health workers who continue to work to protect every Filipino against the global pandemic. It's been a tough time for all of us, especially with the one-year mark of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we hope that through this year's activities we can help empower and inspire. The goal is to help all of us armed with the scientific-based information we need through the series of lectures given by experts. Again po, maraming salamat po sa San Pablo Medical Society. This is my 10th year here po during your induction. And mabuhay po ang San Pablo Medical Society, mabuhay po ang Philippine Medical Association, PMA, working together as one. Magandang tabi po sa inyo.
Dr. Bailey, we ask you to please remain in front. And as we call on Dr. Azucena to present our certificate of appreciation. And together our PMA National President, Dr. Benny Atienza. Thank you, Dr. Benny. So I'm a first-hand witness of how hardworking Dr. Benny is. He always has been dedicated and committed to serving the community. Thank you, Doctor.
certificate of appreciation for Secretary of PSA and PDS for his untiring support and encouragement to the members of the San Pablo City Medical Society in upholding its mission and vision for the people of San Pablo City by being our guest of honor during our 74th induction ceremonies. Given on this 12th day of July 2021 at Palmeiras Garden and Restaurant, Barangay San Rafael, San Pablo City. This is signed by our Secretary, Dr. Prospero Esplanda, and our as a souvenir from San Pablo. Gifts from the city, food items and fruit juices for you.
Truly, a physician's role is not only confined within the clinic or hospital premises. As members of the PMA, as member of the San Pablo City Medical Society, we are called to perform our duties and serve our community, wherever we may be and when the situation calls for it. And this has been proven time and again as we continue to be the recipient of this next award. May again call on Dr. Becky Altenza upstage to present the Induction Award.
Philippine Medical Association presents this Standing Leadership Award to Ricardo R. Codlejas Jr. MD, third prize, category 3, for his outstanding leadership as President of San Pablo City Medical Society that won the coveted award for 2020-2021 as the most active component society of the Philippine Medical Association, achieved through diligence, initiative, and innovativeness, the planning and implementation of the activities of the Society. Given this 23rd day of June 2021, during the 114th Annual Convention Scientific Meeting, signed Maria G. Henson, MD, Chair, PMA Committee on Awards, Hector M. Santos, Jr., MD, PMA Secretary General, and your PMA President. The Philippine Medical Association proudly presents this testimonial of recognition, the most active component medical society to San Pablo City Medical Society, third prize, category 3, for the commitment to serve its members and constituents for its acts of compassion to the victims of calamities for this year 2020-2021. This award was initiated by Dr. Mariano Escasiano, PMA President, 1954-1955. Even this 23rd day of 2021, during the PMA Annual Convention Scientific Meeting, same signatories. Yan po ang mga president at saka mas overlord.
May we call on our past presidents to join us on stage. Dr. Randy Melo, Dr. Edmond Viola, Dr. Angelito Jlen. Dr. Jlen Viola, first. The past year has been difficult to say the very least. It was very challenging for us and for the rest of the world, but especially for our medical frontliners. 2020 has been a test of our endurance, dedication, compassion, and faith in God. The last year's set of officers have shown us a truly remarkable display of how it is to be a physician during this pandemic. We never retreated, we never surrendered, no matter how enormous the crisis ahead may be. We adapted and we will continue to adapt. Together with the rest of the San Pablo City Medical Society, we would like to give our tribute to our outgoing officers. Indeed, we can never deny the lasting legacy of Dr. Ed Noguera's administration. Again, please sit back as we recall how our past year has been with a song kahit konting pahinga, to be followed by a message from Dr. Eduardo Nogueras himself.
Inuulit ko ho, pagod na po kami.
Matapang na nagpahayag ng saloobin ng ilang medical frontliners sa isang online press conference kanina. Tila nanlulumo na at nalulunod na sa dami ng mga pasyenteng inaalagaan sa ospital at patuloy pang dumarating sa mga ospital dahil sa COVID-19.
Kahit konting pahinga ang dalangin ko sa'yo, kahit mumunting idlip, mata ko'y pikit, pagod na, sagad na, manhid na ang mukhang may marka ng maskara. Kahit konting pagsilip sa ngiti ni bunso, kahit konting paglambing ng sinta kong giliw, pwede ba, kung pwede ba, kahit konting pahinga, kahit konting pahinga, ang dalangin ko sa'yo, kahit mumunting idlip, mata ko'y ipikit, pagod na, sagad na, manhid na ang mukhang may marka ng maskara. Kahit konting pagsilip sa ngiti ni bunso, kahit konting paglambing ng sinta kong giliw, pwede ba, kung pwede lang, kahit konting pahinga. Sa pagmulat ng mata, mayroong bagong sigla, bumalik ang lakas, ano tong nadama, di ako nag-iisa, di ako nangulila.
PMA President Benito Atienza, PMA Governor for Southern Tagalog, Dr. Angelito Jlen, Staff President Dr. Mirna Zapanta, fellow Presidents of Staff Component Societies, dear colleagues and friends, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. It took quite a long while for me to come up with something to say tonight as I feel that you, as President of the San Pablo City Medical Society, and turn over the reins to our esteemed Dr. Cristeto Asacena, which is why I have to deliver this address tonight instead of what was supposed to be a recorded speech. As I stand you now, before you now, I feel four emotions taking over my system. I am nervous, at the same time excited. I feel sad, yet there is this happy feeling inside me too. I am nervous because a year ago, I stood before you and laid out my plans as I took my oath as President of our society. And I ended my speech with a promise to get the job done. As I face you again, it makes me nervous thinking if I did get the job done. Well, the San Pablo City Medical Society did get a third place in the Kashan Award for Most Active Component Society category 3, and the President got the third place award for leadership. Maraming salamat po, Philippine Medical Association. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Benny Atienza. However, I have always said that while awards are always nice, they do not define what we are as a medical society. It is the work that we do, the ideals that we uphold, the values that we embody, and the impact we have on society that serve as the benchmark for what we are and what we have achieved. The goal is simply put, is to be a better version of ourselves through time. Yes, I am nervous as I ask myself if I got the job done by these standards. I hope I somehow did get it done and that I did it right. Excited ako as I prepare to join the Asocena administration as immediate class president and advisor. Salamat ito sa opportunity and trust. And I'm really looking forward to what this year will turn out to be. I'm so damn certain that the new set of officers, the Dr. Asacena at the helm, will take the society to paths that will challenge the doctors of San Pablo City as they lead us to greater heights and new horizons. I'm also sure that the members of the society will always be united and in support of the society's goals. Good luck sa atin lahat. There is always that certain sadness that accompanies occasions like this, where a book's chapter closes and brought to the beginning of a new one. A year has gone by, and we are still in the middle of this pandemic called COVID-19. It is sad that while the pandemic has brought out the best and the brilliant minds in medicine and shown the resilience of our people, there is still much doubt and skepticism as to how we will heal the city by way of vaccination. It is sad that we seem to offer condolences almost as frequently as we greet people happy birthday or congratulations, as we still see people losing loved ones to the virus. I got the unenviable title of pandemic president. And as I earlier said, I hope we were able to somehow make a difference in this fight against COVID. But what brings me sadness today is I will forever remember having to say painful goodbyes to fallen colleagues during my term. I'd like to request a moment of silence for Dr. Colonia Catipon, Dr. Alex Conde, Dr. Rick Cedric, Dr. Ronnie Estima, Dr. Lourdes Giampao, and Dr. Gary Bautista. A moment of silence. Thank you very much. It would be easy to equate being happy today with a feeling of relief that the guy who never wanted to be president was able to pull through. But such is not the case. Much as I have avoided the presidency, I am now actually happy that you have given me this once-in-a-lifetime experience. I'm happy that I was given the chance to lead and serve the finest medical society a physician could ever hope to be a part of, the San Pablo City Medical Society. Your trust and confidence in me will be something I will always draw strength from in future challenges that may come my way. A special thank you to my officers and committee chair, and of course, World Friday Liga, people I always refer to as 19 team. Salamat sa inyong walang sawang support, pag-asikaso, sipag, tatak, and your understanding, as I know I am not the easiest person to deal with at times. Of course, my CME committee chair probably carried the burden most of the time. Needless to say, I'm one very lucky guy to have former SPC Medical Society President Tina Blue as my loving better half. 2020 to 2021 has been one heck of a roller coaster ride. But thanks to all of you, I enjoyed all the short turns and the ups and downs. An experience I will look back to from time to time, and for sure will be a reason to smile and say, thank you, Lord. So, magandang gabi po muli. Ito, Edwin Rehas, sa inyo.
President, may I call on Dr. Cristeto as a senator front, please.
Hello. Leadership Award. This year by Pablo Jr. MD for his extraordinary courage, vision, dedication, and commitment as President of the San Pablo City Medical Society from June 2020 to May 2021. He is our beacon on enlightenment who led the society in one of the most challenging years during the COVID-19 pandemic. Forever, we will be grateful. given this 12th day of July 2021 at San Pablo City, Laguna. Signed by the SPCMS Secretary 2021-2022, Maria Angelica Gala Jlen, MP, and yours truly, Dr. Cristeto Aya Sasena, your incoming president.
Thank you, doctors. As we continue to take the challenge of this new normal, and as we continue to rise above and beyond our duties, it is without any doubt that the new President's administration and leadership will help us see through it. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our new President, Dr. Cristeto Azucena. This will be followed by his formal induction with the PMA National President, Dr. Benny Atienza.
Thanksgiving, and my eyes look heavenward. How the stars you flung like jewels did your welcome shine your light. As I marvel at your moonrise, I'm in awe, yet I ask, what am I that you should love me and hold me as your dearest love of all?
Howard Gardner wrote, "Leaders provide leadership in two principal ways, through the stories they tell and through the kind of lives they lead." In the process of gallivanting, I witnessed how my neighbor doctors were all very busy, doing endless services and treating patients humanely and with compassion. They were my real-life superheroes. Just like any child then, when asked what I would like to be when I grow up, my answer was simple and straightforward. I want to be a doctor. I was asked to run for presidency on several occasions, but I declined. I simply enjoyed my life being a support person. It is easier to be a follower than to be a leader. My journey is one of happiness and holiness. To my loving God, who made all these things possible, help me to serve you as I should. My journey is a lot easier because I know I am in the company of friends. Today I realize that all throughout those years, I have been schooled and mentored by the best leaders of my time. The past presidents of the San Pablo City Medical Society were the most courageous, impressive, and generous leaders of my generation. Sa aking mga boss, I give you my snappy salute and utmost respect. Our lives are similar. Very few of us are leaders all the time and in everything we do. But all of us can be a leader for a certain time in a specific situation. Pagkatapos ng napakahabang panahon, tinanggap ko na rin ang akin. Dr. Cristeto ay Azucena.
We'll call on the service mineral guy to please come right next stage for the formal induction of the service to Azucena. Dr. Benny Atienza, may we have you on stage.
Comes now. May I request all the past governors, Attorney Emma, the incumbent governor, Dr. Lito Jlen, and the past presidents, officers of the San Pablo City Medical Society to join me. Natutunan ko po doon sa PRC, mag-inap po ako. Dapat ako yung iinap nakaharap sa aking Philippine flag at sa aking we are now then for the induction of our servant leader of the San Pablo City Medical Society. All members po, please stand up to give solemnity to the occasion.
Okay, go na.
Yung relative po ni Dr.
Dr. Bennett, can you please join the president on stage? Thank you.
Okay na. Go na.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Dr. Cristeto I. Azucena,
Of State of Paul Society.
of San Pablo City Medical Society,
Having been duly elected.
having been duly elected
To the position of President.
to the position of President
Of the San Pablo City Medical Society.
of the San Pablo City Medical
Do
Society,
hereby solemnly swear.
do hereby solemnly swear
That I will faithfully discharge.
that I will faithfully discharge
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability
The duties and responsibilities of my position.
the duties and responsibilities of my position,
That I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution and bylaws
the Constitution and bylaws
of the Philippine Medical
of
Association
the Philippine Medical Association
and that of the San Pablo City Medical Society,
and that of the San Pablo City Medical Society,
and that I impose this obligation
that I impose this obligation
upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me.
Congratulations.
Congratulations po and thank you. So, what is a leader without his comrades? May we request the incoming officers to please get ready and get ready with a copy of your oath, as we also call on stage Dr. Angelito Benjamin Jlen, our PMA Governor for Southern Tagalog, to induct our board members. Here with me on stage is Dr. Cristina Roldan, a member of our COMELEC.
In behalf of our COMELEC Chairman, Dr. John Mendeguerin, I would like to officially announce all the members of the Executive Council for fiscal year 2021-2022 for San Pablo City Medical Society. Jenny C. Bondad. As I call on your names, please come forward po. The following are our councilors. Again, Dr. Jenny C. Bondad, Dr. Mark Floren G. Gueser, Dr. Froilan Vicente G. Genuia, Dr. Maria Clarissa M. Buenaceda, and Dr. David M. Banayo. For PRO, Dr. Rowena A. Azucena, our Treasurer, Dr. Alma M. Valdez, our Vice President 2, Dr. Jericho B. Gutierrez, our Vice President 1, Dr. Ella Lorraine D. Gia. Cristeto Suseno.
Please raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I state your name of the San Pablo City Medical Society, having been duly elected to the position of, state your position, to hereby solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my ability the duties and responsibilities of my position, that I will support and defend the Constitution and bylaws of the Philippine Medical Association and the San Pablo City Medical Society, and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Congratulations, new officers.
Thank you po. So we will go ahead with the induction of the committee chairpersons. So for those who are who are still sitting, may we ask you to please come up on stage. Dr. Laida Nergoza, Dr. Mercado, Dr. Nolenas, and Dr. Chumacera.
Smile by wearing mask. Smile while wearing mask.
Okay, ready.
The real.
For the committee chair and members, induction po.
Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, of the San Pablo City Medical Society, having been duly appointed to the position of, state your position and committee, do hereby solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties and responsibilities of my position, that I will support and defend the Constitution and bylaws of the Philippine Medical Association and the San Pablo City Medical Society, and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Congratulations, new committee chairperson. Master Benny. Official. Mask out, mask out. Madali daw. Walang mask.
Once again, thank you, Dr. Angelito Jlen. Please remain on stage as Dr. Cristeto Azucena present you with our certificate of appreciation. Dr. L. Aguia to join on stage as we present our token and gift. Thank you.
Pablo, the Pablo City Medical Society, component society of the Philippine Medical Association, presents the certificate of appreciation to Angelito Benjamin C. Jlen, MD, for his untiring support and encouragement as the members of the SPC Medical Society in upholding his mission and vision for the people of San Pablo City by being a special guest and inducting officer during the 74th induction ceremony. Given this 12th day of July 2021 at Palmeras Garden and Restaurant, Barangay San Rafael, San Pablo City. Signed by Maria Angelica Gala, Secretary, SPCMS, and yours truly, Dr. Cristeto Azucena, President of the San Pablo City Medical Society.
Naka-off yung mic.
A gift, our book entitled Haiku at Retrato, and goodies from our beautiful city of Santa.
Thank you, Doctor.
Picture.
for this year and the years to come as we continue to help and serve our community. It is with great pleasure to present to you the new members of our society. Together, let us welcome them as they embark in this new journey with our very own San Pablo City Medical Society. May we request Dr. Azucena on stage as we call on our new doctors to be formally inducted in our society. Doctors, for induction, please keep your mic on. We'll have Dr. Dorabel Ann H. Tolentino from the University of Perpetual Health Las Piñas. Dr. Marvin P. Bautista from the University of Perpetual Health Laguna, Dr. Jose G. Tamayo Medical University, Binyan, Laguna. Dr. Krishna Aiza R. Estiva from the University of the East Ramon Memorial Center. Dr. Jan Abigail P. Hamyas from the University of the East Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Medical Center. Finally, Dr. Eric Gabriel B. Ganilla from the Pamantasan ng Luzon ng Manila.
The oath of membership of San Pablo City Medical Society, a component society of the Philippine Medical Association. Kindly raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name of San Pablo City Medical Society. Having been taken the oath of the physician, do hereby solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution and bylaws of the Philippine Medical Association, and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God.
Again, congratulations to our new members. We'll now move on to our turnover ceremonies. May I call on Dr. Alma Valdez, our treasurer. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Alma Valdez, and allow me to pitch in for a while for Dr. G. Jlen, who will be included in our turnover ceremonies. So for the turnover ceremonies, we would like to call up on stage our outgoing president, Dr. Edgardo Noblejas Jr. We already have on stage our incoming president, Dr. Cristeto Azucena, and our incoming secretary, Dr. Maria Angelica Gala Belen. Now, for the turnover ceremony, this is actually a representation of the changing of the guards, with the outgoing president passing on the bell, the gavel, the key, and the banner. So first, we shall now have the turnover of the bell and gavel by our outgoing president to Dr. Teto Azucena.
I turn over this bell and gavel. Accept these as the symbols of power and authority.
I accept with thanksgiving and humility the opportunity to serve my colleagues and the community as well.
The incoming president will now pass the bell and the gavel to our incoming secretary. Shall now have the turnover of the key.
I turn over the key as a symbol of their entry to the world of good leadership.
I accept this key and I promise to lead and serve to the best of my ability.
We shall now have the turnover of the banner of the San Pablo City Medical Society.
I turn over this banner and presidential medal of the San Pablo City Medical Society as a symbol of the duties and responsibilities that is vested upon you as President of the San Pablo City Medical Society.
I accept this with fervor.
Our incoming president will now turn over all the symbols to our incoming secretary. Let us all give them a big round of applause. G, you may now take over.
Again, congratulations, Dr. Azucena. So for his inaugural speech, may we all watch this video.
Dr. Benito Atienza, PMA President, Dr. Angelito Benjamin Jlen, PMA Governor for Southern Tagalog, Dr. Mirna Sapanta, Stamp President, Dr. Edgardo Noblejas Jr., San Pablo City Medical Society Outgoing President, Attorney Emmanuel Loyola, MD, Past President of the San Pablo City Medical Society, Dr. Randy Melo, Past President of the San Pablo City Medical Society, Presidents of the PMA Component Societies of Southern Tagalog, SCAP, our esteemed past President of the San Pablo City Medical Society, our officers of the San Pablo City Medical Society, the general membership, guests, and friends. Imagine looking up in the sky and marvel at the sight of a flock of migrating birds in deep position. What a beautiful sight. Each bird keeps its place behind the leader, twisting and turning in the air as the leader does, following without the slightest squawk. It is easier to be a follower than to be a leader. Scientists have proven that birds in the formation spends less energy than the leader. It is easy to be a follower when someone is ahead cutting down the wind resistance to you. But very few people know that this formation has no leader. One bird flies to a point until it tires, then it drops back and is replaced by another. During the long migration, most of the birds have the opportunity and the responsibility to become the leader of the formation. Our lives are similar. Very few of us are leaders all the time and in everything we do. But all of us can be a leader for a certain time in a specific situation. Tonight, that time to lead has arrived for me. Pagkatapos ng napakahabang panahon, tinatanggap ko na rin How Howard Gardner wrote, "Leaders provide leadership in two principal ways: through the stories they tell and through the kind of lives they lead." Here is my story. I have been a member of the San Pablo City Medical Society since 1992, almost 30 years. I have served the society as officer or a committee chairperson in almost all the recent administrations. I've always been a silent worker in the background, performing the task assigned to me. I was asked to run for presidency on several occasions, but I declined. I simply enjoyed my life being a support person. Today, I realize that all throughout those years, I have been schooled and mentored by the best leaders of my time. The past presidents of the San Pablo City Medical Society were the most courageous, impressive, and generous leaders of my generation. Sa aking mga boss, I give you my snappy salute and utmost respect. While preparing for this speech, it came to me that as a child, I have already been exposed to the lives of doctors. Why? Our neighbors were mostly doctors. A stone's throw away from our house in Burgos was the pre-war clinic of Dr. Raimundo. Across the street was the clinic of Dr. Bautista and the former residences of Dr. Delgado and Dr. Veneroso. West of our house was the clinic of Dr. Manzanero and Dr. Benesa. South were the clinics of Dr. Mauna, Dr. Avanzado, and Dr. Sanchez. Being the youngest son, I was tasked to buy suka, toyo, or patis in a grocery, and in the process of gallivanting, I witnessed how my neighbor doctors were all very busy, doing endless services and treating patients humanely and with compassion. They were my real-life heroes. Just like any child then, when I asked what I should be when I grow up, my answer was simple and straightforward. I want to be a doctor. That childhood dream became a reality. I am a first-generation doctor in my family. My paternal ancestors were former leaders of San Pablo in the 19th century. My maternal great-grandfather was a Katipunero from General Trias, Cavite. Another grandfather was a migrant from the beautiful island of Panay. Despite of my mixed heritage, I am a true-blooded San Pableño. I came from a family with 8 children. My father was a lawyer and my mother was a public school teacher. Our life was basic and simple, but we were rich with stories and happiness. Being the 7th child, I was trained to listen, to follow orders from my elder siblings, and to be a subordinate. Yet I was given the freedom to read all the books I want, play in the ground till I drop, raise pets, plant camotes, assist in gardening, and be the everlasting errand boy. I simply enjoyed those things. My playground was the public market, the church patio, and the field of the Ateneo de San Pablo. In my elementary and high school days, I was molded by the Jesuit fathers, and the Ignatian character of being a man for others became my standard. After Ateneo closed, Liceo de San Pablo took over, and I was one of the early graduates of the institution. I got my medical degree from the Pontifical University of Santo Tomas, and I had my residency in internal medicine at the Perpetual Health Medical Center in Binyan. These 2 institutions nurtured me
and equip me with the basic skills and attitudes of a good physician. Forever, I will be indebted to them. As soon as I came back to San Pablo, my career as a physician started to take roots. Starting from scratch, with no doctor relatives to back me up, I was surprised that I was welcomed with big hugs by members and officers of the San Pablo City Medical Society. They are my instant godfathers and godmothers who unselflessly paved the way for my medical career. My journey is a lot easier because I know that I am in the company of friends. But my story will not be complete if I fail to mention the most important people in my life. My late father, Attorney Seferino P. Azucena. My mother, Mrs. Rosita I. Azucena, who turned 94 last week. They were my models of faith and love. My siblings, nieces, nephews, and grandchildren, most of them are based overseas. My in-laws, who are my farming buddies every weekend. Our children, Dr. Dayan and Dr. Luis Cordero, and our grandchild, Luis Inigo or Cali, who gives us joy and fulfillment. And to my beloved wife, Gwyneth, who nurtured me, who showered me with love, encouragement, and support. You are the best part of my life. Our journey together is one of happiness and holiness. And to my loving God, who made all these things possible, help me to serve you as I should. What will be our life that we will be leading this fiscal year? The 10-point agenda presented by the PMA President Dr. Benny Atienza will be at the core of our plans for this fiscal year. The board declared 2021 to 2022 as our Jubilee year, celebrating our 75th founding anniversary. This will coincide with the country's celebration of 500 years of Christianization of the Philippines. Hopefully, a big celebration is being prepared by our chair, Dr. Ella Guida, on January 8, 2022. This is a year of kindness. We will attend to our members with loving care. It will be a year of looking in, looking back, and looking forward. We will answer the questions, what have we done to our members? What are we doing to our members? And what should we do to our members? This administration will listen to our members' pulses 100 times. We will ponder 1,000 times. And we will speak once. We are here to serve. Walang iwanan, lahat ay titipunin upang pakinggan. We will pursue our plan to create our own website, sort of a one-stop shop where our members will navigate the web with ease, where history and updates, videos, photos, and lectures will be compiled. We will keep our media accounts active and updated so that all will be abreast with the latest health news and developments. We will renew our bylaws to make it more relevant to the needs of the time. We will look after our members' health and well-being by presenting new, innovative app-based activities, online sport competitions, spiritual growth seminars, community building games, and the like. This will be handled by our two young officers, Dr. Mark Rosel and Dr. Maria Angelica Galabin. We will update our members of the benefits, duties, and responsibilities through a town hall meeting where all will have a chance to renew their knowledge about our organization. We will be gently prepared by Dr. Alma Valdez, Dr. Jenny Bondag, Dr. Elodie, and myself. Infographics on members' engagement will be developed by our chairman on publication and information technology. Dr. Jericho Gutierrez will further motivate our members through this engagement. Our history walk will be developed by our Committee on History, Culture, and Art, headed by Dr. Froilan Binura. We will identify important landmarks in the city that are part of the history of our society. A virtual tour will eventually be presented. Dr. Binuya likewise agreed to be this year's chairman of our Medicine Week celebration. Fundraising drive for our 75th year anniversary. Our Ways and Means Chair, Dr. Alvin Mercado, will spearhead the creation of the 75th anniversary memento for sale as a fitting souvenir for our celebration, and to create funds for our planned celebration on January 8, 2023. Our past presidents will be immortalized through a book entitled Follow Thy Leader, a journey of leadership authored by the presidents themselves. A study on how our retired members can be involved with the society by developing an enterprise where their skills will be utilized will be handled by Dr. Jenny Bondag, Growing Old Gracefully with Friends. On community involvement. Through our Committee on Community Service and Indigency, headed by one and only Dr. Rowena Susana, we will continue with our brand of community punching called Table of Kindness. We will partner with the Social Action Group of the Cathedral Parish of St. Paul I in serving the poorest members of the community by providing pangtawid items for a few days in this time of the pandemic. Adopt a barangay. Extending our help to our local barangays by being resource persons in their projects regarding health education, nutrition, and vaccinations. 2 barangays were identified, Barangay 70, an urban barangay, and Barangay San Cristobal, a rural barangay. Modules on maternal and child health care will be handled by our new mom officer, Dr. Lizzie Buenaceda. We will renew our ties with San Pablo's Puericulture Center. Environmental, climate change, and sanitation issues will be discussed through series of webinars conducted by the Chair of Climate Change, Environment, and Sanitation. Calamity relief operations and disaster control preparedness topics will be discussed through online barangay assemblies. This will be headed by Dr. Laida Nardosa. On scholarships, we will continue our partnership with the Department of Education by providing data load to the poorest of the poor school children who cannot afford mobile loads for their online classes. Monitoring of the children's performances will be done by the teachers and will be discussed with the society at the end of the school year. On vaccinations, collaborations and cooperation with the local and national health departments. This is a banner year for the San Pablo City Medical Society, a rare occasion where all the leaders of important agencies are active members of the society. Starting with our PMA Governor for Southern Tagalog, Dr. Angelito Benjamin, our Laguna Provincial Health Chief, Dr. Rene Bagamasban, San Pablo City's Health Office Head, Dr. James Liho, the SPC Pediatric Circle Head, Dr. Laida Lagosa, who is also our chair for vaccination. Through the combined effort of both the private and government physicians and the positive effect of everyone's campaign for vaccination, the San Pableños embraced vaccination with ease and acceptance. We have one of the best performing vaccination program in the region today. Our society is in the forefront, and we are determined to meet our goals and to protect our people from the havoc of COVID-19. To date, around 50,000 San Pableños have already been vaccinated. Hopefully, we will reach 100,000 by the end of the month. With God's grace, we will reach our goal to vaccinate 70% of the population by November 2021. On CME, CPD, and scientific activities, Dr. Jean Abril Noblejas, our chair for CME, fresh from her stellar handling of our record-breaking postgraduate course early this year, has already started preparing for our 75th founding anniversary postgraduate course. Highlight will be the prestigious Dr. Archimedes Prion Memorial Lecture. On medical ethics in practice, Dr. Dave Banayo already outlined his plan to conduct webinars on professionalism in the medical field. He noted that San Pablo physicians were well known for their cordial relationships with members of the profession. Updates are still in the offering to engage our new members and guide them as they develop their careers in our city. On cancer awareness, our chair, Dr. Mark Rosell, will continue with the Society's long-time project, Operation Booker. Cancer registry will also be updated. Lay lectures, webinars on different cancers will be broadcasted to chosen barangays. On COMELEC, Dr. Mendiguarin, our new COMELEC chair, urged members to consider early their candidates for next year's election on March 20th. On climate change, environmental concerns, health, and sanitation. Dr. Joby Chumacera, successful urologist and real-life farmer physician, is in the helm of our Committee of Climate Change, Environment, and Sanitation. We already started with our tree planting activities last June 2021 by planting hybrid avocado trees. Hopefully, their fruits will benefit the community in the future. Series of webinars on container gardening, recycling, farming, segregation will be in the offering. We partnered with the Friends of the Seven Lakes Foundation to be resource persons regarding the impact of sanitation on the health of our kababayans. We support the moves to protect our lakes, our rivers, mountains, and forests. We will honor our commitment to the San Pablo Water District to conduct early planting activities in the Malabanban watershed areas. In conclusion, this administration presents a bold move to involve all the officers to head their own committees. It is my trust that we train our young bright physicians to be our leaders for tomorrow. This early, they are looking forward to claim their places under the sun. We are all like the migrating birds in the V formation. We will all have our time to lead our path. In the meantime, let me tell you my story. Let me tell you my journey. Let me leave you with my music of hope and cheer. The best years are spent with fellow dreamers,
leaders, and visionaries. Let our journey together be the best. Let me conclude with a stanza from a song based on Psalm number 8. When I sing my heart's thanksgiving and my eyes look heavenward, how the stars you flung like jewels bid you welcome, shine your light. As I marvel at the moonrise, I'm in awe, yet I ask, what am I that you should love me and hold me as your dearest love of all? Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ito po ang inyong Pangulo, si Dr. Cristeto I. Azucena.
Congratulations, there are really a lot of things to look forward to later. And we will be very honored to serve you. So believe me when I say, and I know everyone will agree, that we are greatly grateful and humbled by your dedication and service as early as now, incoming officers of 2021 to 2022. And here send a warm message of greetings. May you have the premier as a Panda or staff president.
A pleasant good evening to everyone. Congratulations to the new officers of our San Pablo City Medical Society and to its officers. Congratulations to all of you. Good luck for a better year 2021-2022. And to the outgoing officers of the San Pablo Medical City, congratulations to you for a job well done and continue working as one. We are one, stamp. We are one PMA and we are one San Pablo Medical Society. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zapata. Another event has finally come to an end. So with immense hope and well wishes for the incoming year for the San Pablo City Medical Society. To formally close, we have here with us on stage Dr. Ella Lorraine Dia, our Medical Society Vice President for 2021 to 2022.
On behalf of the new set of officer, for giving us for the past 3 hours to our guests, Dr. Jlen, Dr. Jlen, Dr. Noyola, Dr. Zapata, to all the component society president, to all our members at home. Thank you very much and hoping for a fruitful year. Maraming salamat po at magandang gabi.
Good night, everyone. Can you please play the recessional video? Thank you. For the San Pablo City Medical Society. And as we have the recessional video, we can already have our family portraits photo op.
minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure measure a year in daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, and laughter, in strife, in 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 journeys to plan, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure the life of a woman or a man?
In truths that she learned, or in times that he cried, in bridges he burned, or the way that she died. It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember a year in the life of forever. Remember the love. You had to remember the love. You know that love is a gift from above. Show love, give love. Measuring love, measure your life in love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. Measure your life in love. 525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife, in 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 journeys to plan, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure the life of a woman or man?
In truths that she learned, or in times that he cried, in bridges he burned, or the way that she died. It's time now to sing out, though story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember a year with a life of a friend. Remember the love. Remember the love. Remember the love. Measuring love.
Management of knowledge and medical practice within San Pablo City Medical Society by participating as sponsor during our 74th induction ceremony, given on this 12th day of July 2021 at Valderas Garden, signed by Maria Angelica Gavin, our secretary, and yours truly. The same citation, will be given to Westmont Pharmaceuticals, another of our sponsors for tonight, and to Gets Pharma for providing us with the food for lunch today. So at this point, I'd like to thank you for all the other pharmaceutical sponsors in one way or another who have helped us have this very special occasion. At this point, I would like to call on everybody on stage for our family picture as the officers of the 2021-2022 SPC Medical
yan? Live po, live. Live po yan, live.